Vinyl Community, I'm back to do a recent vinyl finds, and I have a shitload of stuff to show you again. Seems like I'm only listening to a lot of records nowadays. First of all, I went to a concert yesterday and saw Chris Christopherson live here in Sweden. 83 years old, and he didn't look very healthy, very much skin and bones, and his voice was pretty much just shot to hell. But great band and great songs. Nice to have seen him. He's getting old now, and one of the true huge legends, I guess, still around. So that was pretty neat. Okay, so let's dive right into this. It's a huge mixed bag. Playing in the background, first of all, is this one. I haven't listened to it all the way through yet, but Hawkwinds 79 live. This is the first side, which is playing now, and it's really good for being a sort of later Hawkwind record. Later Hawkwind is not really my cup of tea, but really nice, like space jammy. I did a trade with a guy in the US called David Belson. I don't know if he does videos, but we hooked up and did a deal through Instagram. I sent him 3 Swedish jazz records, and he sent me some stuff, and amongst them was this 1968 Liberty Press of the Blue Train by John Coltrane. One of the best jazz records in my opinion that ever was recorded. And 1968, I think it's a 68, 69, somewhere around that time period. As you all know, 1970, 57, when this was released, those kind of addresses that is on those labels, those Blue Note pressings goes for a lot of money, and this is also an expensive record, but Liberty pressings are at least more affordable. Great sounding, in great shape. I'm super happy with that trade. And another one that he sent that started the whole trade thing off was Duskfire by Don Rendell and the Iron Clark Quintet. This is the reissues from Jazzman, I think they are called, that came out this year. Last year, box set, this year, reissues. Sold out immediately, especially the first 2, and I think the third one is also out of print now. I got the first one, but I couldn't hunt down this one and the third one, which was 3 that I wanted. But he said that he had a spare copy still in the plastic. I think he's a dealer and trader and stuff like that. So he sent this to me. Really nice, awesome music. This is a classic kind of English jazz record. Really good. I went to Copenhagen and I went to a beer festival, but I couldn't bear myself not to crate dig, so I went out for 3 hours, I think, to crate dig, and I found this one, Churchill's self-titled record. And this is, let me get this right now, this is Israelic. They are from Israel. Their first one from 1968, and then later on they became Jericho. And all you guys know Jericho. This is even rarer than the Jericho record, obviously, but 1985, maybe 84 reissue of this. Also kind of rare, but it's unofficial, so it's not. There's no statistic of this on Discogs, but still kind of rare. Awesome price for that one. Sound quality is amazing, just blew me away really, and a great. That's a 5-star record in my opinion. Fantastic Psych record all the way through. A classic one in the Psych catalog. I bought some records by a guy, and we ended up making a trade. And this was in there, one that I've been wanting for a while. It's been on my want list, but now when I own it, I'm not that amused, really. Cobb, Moye McStiff, and the Tartan Lancers of the Sacred Heart, maybe 19, let's say 69, 70, 71, something like that. This is a psychedelic folk record with mostly more folk than psych. Gatefold sleeve, reissued on Sunbeam maybe 10 years ago with the booklet and the CD also in. I have to say that this kind of folk is not really my bag. COB stands for, let's see here, Clive Palmer's band, Clive, something like that. And he was the founding member of the Incredible Spring Band. Shit, I should have done, no, for Fairport Convention. But he jumped the ship after the first release and started this another band, and then this band. This is the second release. Not my bag really. Glad I didn't pay like $1,000 that the original press goes for. From the same guy, I also bought this, a pretty messed up copy of this, and it's a reissue, but the vinyl is in great shape. This is Scorpions, you know, that shitty, cheesy 80s German hard rock band. But this is actually from 1970 or no, 72. Their debut record, and it's a full-blown heavy rock psych record. Or not psych, but Kraut really, from Germany. And it's a masterpiece. It's a fucking masterpiece. It's so damn good all the way through. Not a single second on this is bad in my opinion. Just a great Kraut rock, heavy rock record that everyone should own. The first press on the Brain label is expensive, very hard to find. But there is reissues like this that goes for maybe $20 tops. There's different pressings, bunch of different pressings with different cover artworks and stuff like that. So you can get this pretty easily. But if you're just after the music, get this. I'm still on the lookout for a earlier press than this, but that will be fine for now. Sounds pretty good also. It's very gritty in the sound. And I think the production, and I don't know if it's the pressing quality or whatever, but it sounds very dirty and gritty. And I really like it because it sounds like one of those like records that is forgotten, you know. If this was the only record that they released, then they pressed it in 1,000 copies and they just vanished, no one bought it, and Scorpion was never to be, you know. That record would fetch thousands of dollars. It would be one of those like holy grails. I bet my ass on it. Such a good record. Okay, so this one, I knew about this one. I mean, subconsciously, I knew that I shouldn't buy this, and I bought it, and I came home and I read about it, and I realized that okay. So this is Trip Through Hell by C.A. Quintet. C.A. Quintet. Very sought after psych record, heavy psych record, with awesome music, just fantastic. Original copies of this goes for brain melting sums. This is a 1983 reissue on Psycho Records, and it's an unofficial bootleg from back in the day. Pretty hard to get your hands on this bootleg also, and I got it for a great price. Now, this is shit. It's just shit because they mixed it or pressed it wrong, so you only have one channel. So half of the mix is not there. You hear a guitar and you lack another guitar. It's just like pointless, really pointless. So I'm gonna try to sell this to another sucker like me and see if they are up to the task. unfortunately, I'm gonna try to hunt down a decent copy of that, a better press of that that has the complete record on it. Really. Okay, so moving on. Also in Copenhagen, I've had this on my want list for a long time. Pearls Before Swine. On ESP, this the kind of free jazz label that released Albert Eiler and you know the One Nation Underground. This is a reissue from the 70s. The first press had a different cover with the entire artwork on the entire record, and then they did it with like sepia, and then they did it black and white, and then they did this on the Fontana label. Fontana ASP. This is not a free jazz record, it's a folk record all the way through, so it's really standing out from the rest of the artists and releases from that label, but it's really cool. This is a classic folk kind of, I shouldn't say psych, but folk record. And in the same store next to it, for the same price, was this one. Pearls Before Swine Balaclava. Obviously also on my want list, and this is an Italian reissue from also the 70s on Bass Records. Bass Records, the Italian reissue label, did a bunch of ESP releases, which you can find really cheaply. Those kind of free jazz records, and this also really nice, awesome. And in my opinion, both of the records goes, I mean, hand in hand. They complete each other perfectly, so you need both of them in my opinion. Another store, but also in Copenhagen, I managed to find this one that I've been looking for a while. This is Full House by Fairport Convention, and this is awesome. Another masterpiece by Fairport Convention, in my opinion, and this is the third UK press with the pink rim island. The first one was the total pink with the white eye. Structured sleeve, gatefold, as you can see. If you're into Fairport Convention, that sort of folk rock with the guitar wizardry of Richard Thompson, this is for you. Highly recommended. Okay, so those were the more killer stuff. This is the more ordinary stuff. I found this for $1, couldn't resist it, wasn't very good. I don't know what to do with this, but Jimmy Smith's Wings along with Stranger in Paradise. One of the worst Jimmy Smith records I've ever heard. I bet the guy did a lot of releases and not everything is good. This is one that, in my opinion, was not good at all. Another one, $2. Camel live in concert, Pressure Points. I guess it's from '84. It's a nice prog record, live prog record. Camel, fantastic musicians. They tried to do a sort of commercial Pink Floyd thing on this one. I like the 70s material better than this. This has that kind of 80s production over the live thing. Really not my bag, but it's a decent kind of addition to the Camel catalog, and for that price, I mean, it's entertaining. A Jimmy Smith record that is really good is this one on Blue Note. This is at Club Baby Grand, Wilmington, Delaware. The incredible Jimmy Smith. This was, I think, released as a 10-inch back in the day in the 50s. It's 70s, early 70s, or maybe late 60s Liberty reissue. He plays his heart out on this one, and this is a great example where Jimmy Smith is really good, like very I lack the word for it, but he seemed inspired, and the other one that I showed with Jimmy Smith is that he sounds uninspired in that one. Another Hawkwind record, also $2, was this one, Sonic Attack, from 1981. And I read some stuff online. A lot of people is throwing shit on this, and I can maybe I'll throw some shit on it, but I mean, there's 2 or 3 tracks on this out of maybe 8 that is really good, space rocky, kind of jammy, but the rest of it is just trying to make it into or through the 80s. And the song Sonic Attack, Angels of Death, which was a single from this one, is so crappy that you get blisters on your ears when you listen to it. Another proggy, kind of krautrocky record is this one, Novalis, Wer Schmetterlinge lächen hört, maybe. The German band, very, I mean, if you know Novalis, it's kraut in the same vein as maybe Tangerine Dream, but they don't do it as good in my opinion. It's a decent record. You can find really cheap, so I mean, maybe worth picking up. Check it out first, would be my recommendation. Also in Copenhagen, I found this for just $2 maybe. Crown of Creation by Jefferson Airplane. Fantastic record, a classic, and it's a second US press, so pretty early, RCA Victor. So I couldn't pass this out, off. Okay, yeah, great hard rock, blues kind of thingy. A Buck, Focus by Stan Getz, composed and arranged by Eddie Sutter, conducted by Hershey K. He tried to do some sort of mix between classical music and jazz on this one, and he does it really good. Stan Getz is awesome on this, and I think he paid for it by himself because the label, Verve in this case, didn't believe in the project. That's what I read, at least. Really good Stan Getz record. And in my opinion, with the Stan Getz I have in my collection and the stuff I've heard, Stan Getz is hit and miss a lot of times. For me, I continue on the Creedence kind of spiral down, and I mean, if I'm in that mood, I love Creedence. I didn't do that maybe a year ago. I resented Creedence, but now I feel like I've matured. I'm at an age where I can listen to Creedence, and this one, Bayou Country, second release I think, is no exception. It's just goddamn good. But if you're in the mood for it, so I played this all the way through. I really liked it, but then I played Green River just after that, and I was so fed up of the sound of Creedence, and this has better songs than Bayou Country in my opinion, but I had to turn it off. I couldn't listen to it more, so maybe I have to wait 6 months or something like that before I put another Creedence record on. Let's see. Some avant-garde, new wave, free jazz thing. Material, Memory Serves, with the fantastic Sonny Sharrock, Fred Frith, George Lewis, Billy Bang, Bill Laswell, and yeah, 1981. This is fantastic, and I'm not a huge fan of new wave music and that sort of 80s thing, but it reminds me a lot of sort of more avant-garde jazzy rendition of King Crimson's Discipline and that 80s material that they released, which I think is okay. This is awesome, really good, and especially this record, not expensive at all. If you find this for $1 or $2 or $3, get it and dive into it. It's nothing you have on in the background. You have to really listen to it, but if you do, it's rewarding. And also for $1 I found Material's Temporary Music 1, and this is some sort of compilation 12-inch single, which I listened to, really good also, but just 3 songs. $2, $3, $4. The last Taj Mahal record I need in my collection. I've listened to it a little bit online, and there were songs that I really liked, so I was on a hunt for it. But now when I listen to it, I don't really know why I had it on my want list. Giant Step. Two records. I think it's called Giant Steps and The Old Folks at Home. So 2 records, but in one 2 LP set. Kind of standard blues, not my bag really. But I love the other one he released. Let's see here. You know it. This one. Self-titled? Yeah. This is awesome. Really good. Also, $2, $3, $4 in Denmark, the Electric Flag, and this is called only Electric Flag? No, an American music band. This is really good. Buddy Miles playing his heart out as he usually do when you listen to him, and you have a version of Sunny here by Bobby Hebb, which is fantastic. Nice classic rock record, rock fun. And the last one, oh shit, went by pretty fast. Time flies, you know. $3, Tim Buckley, Blue Afternoon, because of the cover being pretty shitty, but the record is in great shape. They had this at like $3, yeah, nice addition to the Tim Buckley collection. The small, very small Tim Buckley collection. I'm not the biggest fan of Tim Buckley, but when you're in the mood for that sort of light voice, I guess it's good. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed the records I showed. Please leave me comments if you have any questions or thoughts, and talk to you soon. Bye.